In motorsport, there are race cars, and then there are cars that make drivers question their own mortality. The Porsche 908-3 was very much in the latter category. It was light to the point of absurdity, fast beyond reason, and terrifying to drive, partially due to its peculiar upright seating position. And yet, for all of its strangeness and limited purpose, it became one of Porsche's greatest endurance weapons. A car designed with a singular focus on two of the most dangerous racetracks on Earth, the Nürburgring Nordschleife and the Targa Florio. It was a machine that ignored convention in favor of extreme performance, built in an era when engineers weren't constrained by today's boring obsession with safety. The 908 was not designed to coddle its drivers, it was engineered to win, and in doing so, it became one of the most outrageous racing cars Porsche ever produced. So, let me tell you all about it. Now, by the late 1960s, Porsche had fully committed to endurance racing. But there was a problem. The FIA had introduced new Group 6 prototype regulations, limiting engine displacement to 3 liters, effectively matching Formula 1's rules. Porsche was already heavily invested in long-distance racing, but its 907 prototype, with a relatively puny 2.2-liter 270 horsepower flat 8, was starting to look severely outgunned. The solution, the 908, with a brand new 3-liter engine, pushing out around 350 horsepower. Porsche now had a machine capable of fighting for outright victories, but there was still the small matter of dealing with Ford's 7-liter V8-powered GT40, which competed in Group 6 and was busy conquering Le Mans and the International Championship for Makes like it was some kind of medieval war campaign. When the engineers returned to the drawing boards for 1969, they realized something crucial. Brute force wasn't going to cut it. They needed to be clever. The answer came in the form of the 908-2, a lighter, shorter, roofless evolution of the original 908, shedding 100 kilograms in the process. This newfound agility helped Porsche finally secure the International Championship for Makes, even though the GT40 still refused to surrender at Le Mans. But Porsche had another trick up its sleeve. They weren't just planning to win races, they wanted to dominate them, and that's where things got truly insane. You see, for the 1970 season, Porsche's focus had shifted towards the all-conquering 917, a monstrous 5-liter beast designed to put Porsche at the top of endurance racing's pecking order. However, there was one small issue. While the 970 could unleash hell on fast tracks like Le Mans, it was about as nimble as an aircraft carrier on twisty technical circuits. Enter Ferdinand Piëch, Porsche's head of development and a man with all the subtlety of a nuclear missile. Piëch knew that to win at places like Nürburgring Nordschleife or the unforgiving road of the Targa Florio, the 917 wasn't going to cut it, so he tasked engineer Manfred Bantel with a seemingly impossible mission: create a car that was lighter, more agile, and more ruthlessly efficient than anything that had come before it. The result was the 908-3, and to call it an engineering marvel would be an understatement. You see, the 908-3 took Porsche's obsession with weight reduction to an extreme level. The aluminium tube frame weighed a mere 30 kilograms, while the entire fiberglass bodywork tipped the scales at just 12 kilograms. It was the sort of car that, if a particular strong gust of wind hit it the wrong way, it might have ended up in a ditch. But Porsche didn't stop there. The 3-liter flat 8 engine was also subject to some serious dieting. Titanium connecting rods, aluminium heads, magnesium valve covers, and a magnesium alloy crankcase resulted in a staggering 180 kilograms of weight saving. The final product, a car weighing just 545 kilograms. And that gave this car a 680 horsepower per ton rating, which is more than the Bugatti Chiron. But the lightweight wasn't the only thing that made the 908-3 a handling masterpiece. The weight distribution was tweaked to perfection by moving the differential behind the gearbox, a trick borrowed from Porsche's bonkers 909 Berg Spider Hillclimb car. This resulted in a near identical 45-55 weight balance, giving the car the agility of a squirrel. The only downside, the seating position, with the transmission, engine and differential all pushed as far forward as possible. Drivers found themselves sitting upright in an almost comically awkward position. Hence, the weird nickname this car got from the race drivers, the VW Bus. But once they got behind the wheel, all complaints disappeared because the 908/3 was quite simply brilliant. When Porsche sent 4 908/3s to the 1970 Targa Florio, they proved unstoppable. The cars finished first, second and fifth, with Leo Kinnunen setting a blistering lap record that remains unbeaten to this very day. It was a performance that cemented the 908/3's reputation as a specialist weapon for the tightest, trickiest circuits in endurance racing. Weeks later, at the Nürburgring 1000 kilometers, it was deja vu. The factory Porsche team entered 2 908/3s and they proceeded to obliterate the competition, finishing first and second, a full lap ahead of Ferrari's V12-powered 512S Spider. Happy by its success, Porsche fielded the 908/3 again in 1971. This time, however, things didn't go quite as smoothly. The Targa Florio turned into disaster with multiple crashes, leaving only one car running at the finish, in 39th place. But at the Nürburgring, the 908/3 was still untouchable. Porsche locked out 3 of the top 4 positions, proving once again that this little featherweight machine was the king of the twisty stuff. Now, after 1971, changes in FIA regulations meant that Porsche had to retire both the 917 and the 908/3 from factory competition. But the 908/3 wasn't quite done yet. Porsche sold the remaining cars to privateer teams, who kept them racing well into the 1980s. Some were even retrofitted with turbocharged 6-cylinder engines, including the Joust Racing 908/3 that won the Nürburgring 1000 km yet again in 1980, a full 9 years later. Today, the 908/3 remains one of the most sought-after classic Porsche race cars, with only 13 ever built. Surviving examples fetch millions at auctions. One even went under the hammer for $3.6 million in 2017, proving that its legend endures. It may not have the brute force of the 917, but the 908/3 was a different kind of monster. It was a car so light, so nimble, and so purpose-built that it made anything else seem bloated by comparison. A car that looked ridiculous, yet destroyed all competition where it mattered. A car so pure in its execution that even half a century later, it stands out as one of Porsche's greatest engineering feats. But at the end of this video, please let me know what you guys think of this car and its story. Also, let me know what you guys thought of the video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys did like it, you most probably enjoy most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else to like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?